Now we are ready for tip-off. It looks like Sydney will win the first. Hawkins. Nicholson, speaking of big buckets, dances around heel, and that's what she does. Good start from the Fire so far, but that pass is off the mark from Steph Reid. Willoughby now pulls up from three-point range and sinks it. She always is. Reliable as ever for the Flames. Goes on the left and bakes it in with the and one.
Here, driving down the seam, she does a terrific job of being able to...
Confronted by Willoughby, so has to give it back to Roof. Just dribbles out. And now Samuelson. That's a nice find. So we'll see what she has in store for us tonight. Gets it back from Sherman here. Pulls up for a three, and that's classic Charlotte Hill. So it allows Sydney to extend their 5-point lead. Froling glides in. Nice time from Willoughby too. Reid against Mangakahia. Samuelson guarded by Hill. It was a mismatch, and Samuelson executed, but not quite on that shot. Mangakahia, good time again to Froling. She's in all the right spots tonight. Sydney did a number in Adelaide too, and they might do one again against Townsville. They've certainly got all the right makings so far.
It highlights the competitiveness of this league, where point looks that would be characteristic for the Fire. They just haven't dropped yet.
Here is Nicholson again. Roof, clever pass out to Samuelson, who launches from three-point range, and Samuelson's feeling it. In that breakout game against Adelaide, she was 4 from 5 from three-point range. Let's see what the Fire can do to curb her impact. McSpadden drives on her straight away.
And then be able to keep your body between the ball and the defender. Finish strong with the right hand. And one play here from McSpadden, a theme, or whether that was just a one-possession thing.
Here's Woods on for some minutes. And a nice drive to start off.
So, tremendous job by her. And, earlier we talked about Samuelson being that catch-and-shoot type.
Dumps it to Shervin. Clark wanted it, but Panousis will get it back. Launch from three, and that's good from Vanessa Panousis. Gives it out to Clark, who loves a triple, as we know. Panousis, so too does she, and she hits her second for the game. She's gone past her season high of 5 points already too, so she's in for a big game, you sense. And that's a good settler there. Reid dances around Panousis, and then McSpadden's there to mop up.
Floor, if you're a post player that can get into the corner of the basket there, that little wedge, often you can be the beneficiary of a little pass like that, or, potentially a layup shot that's just gone over the rim and lands in your hands.
Good defensive pressure there from Shervin. Heel for back-to-back triples. Yes!
Now, credit a lot of that to tip of rim, so it drags the defender away and leaves Charlotte Hill wide open on the perimeter to be able to do what she does best.
Speaking of being wide open, there's Hawkins there. Mangakahia. Into Willoughby. Spinning, shooting, and scoring!
And passion too. One thing that I love watching come out with her is when she makes a great play, you see a fist pump.
Have you using a lot of the shot clock today, Sydney? Hawkins. Roof there to mop up again.
She's such a tough match.
And now Panousis is tasked with guarding her. Of course, named in that extended Opal squad was Steph Reid. And she's on the board for the first time today. She's so tough to play on, Steph Reid. Froling to Willoughby. Long three is good. In the second period too, both teams are having their own little spells. Let's see what the Fire can do now with Reid. And that's a great little shot from Steph Reid.
And then it's out of the range where Shervin might be able to get her hand to it.
Samuelson, nice dish to McSpadden. That's perfect basketball from Townsville. For some movement from our teammates. Thought about the three and then gave it to Panousis. He's getting some extended minutes this game. Shervin launches from three. Ledger suggests this game. McSpadden. Back into Nicholson. And on cue, she gets herself a two-pointer. So Townsville now with 14 seconds to work with. Can they get one last say on this opening half? Reid nearly loses her footing. Dishes it into McSpadden. So So Samuelson to inbound here for Townsville. Finds Nicholson. She loves this spot, and that's exactly why.
She's so clutch too.
Froling. Willoughby. Shot clock ticks down to 7, and Willoughby pops up a nice shot.
The player in that pick and roll circumstance, so that you end up with a bigger player on the small and then a smaller on the bigger.
As Reed jacks up a 3, her first for the game. To Nicholson, and now Reed for back-to-back 3. She thought about it and then gave it back to Nicholson, who wants back-to-back 3s of her own, and she gets it.
That guard type, and they keep a little bit of a cushion generally because they're worried about getting beaten off the dribble, and it gives space for Nicholson to knock the 3 down.
Nicholson wants it again, but this time Hawkins comes in with the easy 2. Heel. Trapped by Roof. Mangaka here. Wants the corner 3 and gets it. That's better from the Flames. Heel. Causing her a bit of trouble, but Reed backs out of it.
And that's
Comes into Roof, and this is great play from the Fire.
Sorry to interrupt.
So here's Heel for Sydney. Her team in a bit of trouble at the moment. The scoreline is 54-43. Make that 47. Samuelson. Shot clock down to single digits.
Defense.
She pops Heel out of the way. Shot clock down to 5. Goes for another long 3. Gets her own boards. Can't bake in the 2. Froling's there to help and gets the M1. So 7 points the margin. Just ticked over the halfway mark of the third period. Froling cool, calm and collected on those free throws. But so too is Roof under the rim again.
And some hesitation.
From 3-point land against Adelaide Friday night. Nicholson. Nice mid-range too. Froling now. Driving in hard on Roof. Just can't get past her, but gets it back. Has to go. The shot clock ticking down, and that's classy from Keely Froling. Willoughby had players screaming for her. And ends up with Mangaka here in the corner. Now drives in hard to the basket. And that's a nice finish. The team leading 65-56, just ticking down towards the 2 minutes left in the third period. And Reed rolls in, gets the finish. She finds herself a Fire player. She'll be crucial in these last stages of the third period. So too will Reed. Goes large from 3-point range. One last quarter here for the Sydney Flames to get back into this game, or perhaps Townsville to get themselves a big win and try and solidify their top 4 spot. And Steph Reed is cooking. 15 points for her, just like that. Canusis. Rowe. I mentioned how good she was from this range mark, and here she is.
And even further challenged by some foul trouble. There's a 4-0 foul count right now to start the quarter.
And Roof again.
Make that 5.
And here's Reed. Dumping it back into McSpadden. That's a nice feed from Steph Reed. A little stat for the folks at home. When Townsville scores more than 80 points, they're 5-0. So if you're going by that, it suggests they're in for a win. But Willoughby's got something to say about it. Just kicks the ball in, and now guarded by Shervin. And Allen too on the floor. But Roof all alone. That's not a player you want to leave alone. Averages the 3rd most minutes, the 4th highest 3-point percentage. She's star of the league. So too is Heel.
You know, the likes of Heel, Willoughby, Froling on the floor, to be able to really set a standard or give an example of the type of fight that you want within the group.
Here's Heel. 5 triples for her tonight.
Nice pass.
Good finish from Shervin too. Back into Panusis. Shot clock down to 10. Guarded by Akuzo. Gets around her. And then Shervin pops up a nice 2. 90-75. Woods dumps it into Akuzo. That is lovely. Reed's just likely to dribble it out. And she will. It's a fantastic win for the Townsville Fire at Kudos Bank Arena. 92 Townsville. The Flames 77.